Welcome back to Spirit Squared. I'm Andrew Darrington, your host. Tonight we come to you at the Humidor here in Tyler, Texas. One of our sponsors, and we'll get to all of our sponsors. Thank them so much. It's great to be here. We've got a lot of people in the other room that are having a good time, having a nice stick. And we're here with the first tee of Tyler. And we'll get to you guys here in just a second. But first and foremost, we really want to thank our sponsors. Of course, we've got the Humidor and we've got the Vault. Blake and Virginia Young, thanks so much for your support. Everything that you guys do for us really helps us out. We've got Hoot and Holler down in Gun Barrel City. If you guys need any help, provide any spirits for the weekend, those are the guys that you need to go see. They're very educated about what you guys' requests could be. They've got a ton of inventory there. It is a ton of inventory. So go down there and see Scott and Regina and the crew. They will help you out and get you set up for the weekend. And then we've got Red Consulting. Thomas and Martha are great people up in Lindale. If you've got any kind of 3D rendering or any kind of construction plans that you're thinking about, reach out to them. They'll take care of you. They have the newest technology and will help you build your dream home. Before we introduce you guys, I want to talk about a little bit of what's in our cup. We've got a little smoke wagon barrel pick. I only do this because our East Texas group has a barrel pick that's coming. We've been waiting a long time for a smoke wagon barrel pick. This one, this particular one's out from Specs. It's a great barrel pick. If there's any more left, you definitely need to get one. It's very flavorful. Our pick, I think it's also flavorful. We did a great job of picking it. And hey Jay, how are you? Doing my introduction here.
Okay, right?
So if you have an opportunity to go get this Specs pick, you definitely need to do it. But if you have an opportunity to get the East Texas barrel pick, you want to do that too. So we got the first tee of Tyler, Billy,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Nash. Right, it's great to have you guys on. You guys make 25 episodes of the podcast. We're almost at a year, and you guys get to come on. Thanks so much for making it happen and spending some time with us and talking about the good things that you guys do. The first tee was initially formed in 1997 by then Commissioner Tim Fincham. I think it's a great thing. My background's in golf. A little bit of my life was in golf. We can get into that in a little bit. But talk to us a little bit about First Tee. What were some of the initial thoughts and why First Tee works?
Sure. So First Tee, like you said, 1997. Commissioner at the time, created it to make golf.
You have to get closer, or you gonna. There you go, or pull it closer to you and speak louder. Louder. Yeah, you're gonna have to, you hear my voice? You're gonna have to get as loud as I am.
Like this?
Yeah.
Fill the space.
Tim Fincham in 1997 created First Tee to make golf more accessible and more affordable to all kids. And so it kind of had this stigma to it at the time, and so he took a really good as an opportunity to create a youth golf organization that also lived in life skills and core values.
Yeah, so we didn't get started really in East Texas with First Tee until 2008, I believe, and we started our programming in 2011, something like that. So we've been here a while, but we haven't been here all that long in the grand scheme of things. And like Nash said, they saw this problem where first golf is extremely expensive. You gotta have 200 acres to have a course.
Right.
The amount of water, fertilizer, and maintenance crews to keep up with it. I mean, it's expensive before anybody even steps foot on the golf course. So that gets passed on to the consumer, to the player. Golf balls are expensive, equipment's expensive. It's all so expensive. So they saw this problem and decided, hey, we need a place where kids can access this stuff, where they can get on the course, where they can access equipment, where the game's going to die. If kids aren't picking it up, where's it going to go?
Right.
So it's been a really good thing. I'll let Nash talk a little bit more on the programming that we do at those three locations. But yeah, in a short amount of time we've been here, we've serviced how many kids have we served?
I'm not sure the total number. Last year we hit just about over 600 kids that we worked with in new sections. And so we're here in Tyler, there's a chapter in Longview, and there's 150 wide. And so I believe it's 150,000 kids through the school, but and the grass locations that there's a lot of great connections, great impacts made to the youth.
Yeah, absolutely. My background, whenever I first got out of college, I was an assistant pro at a couple different places, and as an assistant pro, you do a lot of those summer participation leagues and things like that. But a lot of those kids were, they were kids from members, and so these members already had some advantages. Financially they can afford it. Just like we send kids off to different kind of camps. This was a camp that I participated with, and it was enriching in a different way. You guys are dealing with some underprivileged individuals, and so talk a little bit about that. Talk about how you guys identify these kids that need the program and or are sponsored or sent to the group.
So our executive director Logan has a great saying. There's probably about 1 million kids who drive by a golf course or see it on TV and think I want to try it, and they run into all these barriers like Billy Storrs. Everybody to equipment's expensive, just to get out there and play is very expensive, and so we never turn it away. People do it on a program due to financial hardship or any reason. So they can borrow clubs during the class. They don't have to show up in any polo or anything. We just ask that they show up in tennis shoes and that they're ready to learn. So we try, our mission really is to eliminate a lot of those barriers that get in the way of those kids who drive by the golf course and go, man, that guy did that a long way. I want to do that.
And financial aid available means that money's coming from somewhere.
Right.
And I'll tell you this, we charge for our programs, we charge for our summer camps, but no kids ever turned away, and that's the truth. So that money comes from somewhere, it comes from donors, it comes from your community, it comes from local businesses. Our paid participants, a full class may cost $100. At the end of the year, we have our help, and we find out that 14% of our revenue comes from expensive program entry fees. That won't support a program. So really, there's no good way to make golf cheap other than community. And that's what we're trying to do. That's what First Tee tries to do.
Yeah.
I think we're fairly successful. Nationwide, we're very successful.
What kind of outreach do you guys have? How do you locate these kids that are interested in possibly, like you said, driving by, and do you go to schools? Do you go check out maybe PE classes and stuff like that?
Yeah, absolutely. So here in the greater Tyler area, we are in 39 schools.
Wow.
So we're in quite a bit. So our biggest outreach, I'd say, is our school program.
Yeah.
So we provide equipment for schools to purchase, but it's for the physical education program. So they can add that to their curriculum, they can add that to a field day, and it's all plastic equipment. So it's very safe as far as in a school like that. So the PE teachers that I talk to and that we train weekly on the equipment and updates on things, they love it because it's a huge change from kickball or basketball, something typical at a school, and it's a really unique and a really amazing way to get kids interested in golf. They might not ever pick up a club another way before that. So it's a very amazing outreach opportunity.
Right. So out of the you said 39?
Yes.
30 out of the 39 schools. When you have these camps, how many people are you seeing sourced to these camps from these schools?
So out is 4, so when they sign up for registration online, it's actually a question that you get.
Yeah, are you coming from one of these?
So 1 in 4 come from the school program.
Wow.
So that's how they got introduced to First Tee to golf, and so 1 in 4. So that's a really great reward for us. It's great even if they just get to experience it in the school.
Yeah.
But it's even better when they can come to a 6-week, once a week grass location.
Yeah.
Go for a week-long hour-and-a-half class. It's
Gotcha.
Hey, podcast listeners, are you in need of some top-notch libations to elevate your next gathering? Look no further than Hoot and Holler Liquor Store in Gun Barrel City, your go-to liquor store for quality drinks. From smooth bourbons to crisp wines and everything in between, Hoot and Holler has one of the largest and most diverse selections in East Texas. Planning a special occasion? Let our experts guide you to the perfect bottle. You'll receive excellent customer service not offered in the big box chains. Visit Hoot and Holler today and let the good times flow.
So are you guys entering the schools at elementary, at junior high, both?
It's all the above.
So all
Okay.
of them, yes,
Okay.
it's elementary, middle, and high school.
Gotcha.
You see the biggest excitement about it is elementary schools because you have
Right.
maybe a 7-year-old who, I know dad plays this and then they get to try it and they get excited. So,
Or maybe dad watches on TV
yes, right.
and, he likes rooting for a certain player and, that certain player does something amazing and I want to make dad proud too. And so it could be an opportunity for me to do something, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Cool. So let's talk about some challenges that are facing this youth in this day and age. I mean, we know the TikToks and the social media is a big challenge. It affects them in school. So peer pressure is at all-time high. It can be viralized. I think golf provides an outlet that not many sports can, personally. And I'm not trying to spoon feed what you're going to tell me, but I think that talk about some of the challenges that you guys have seen or witnessed or you've heard about, and how what you're doing is eliminating or easing those challenges.
One thing you just said is golf is kind of a unique sport, right? It's a sport that allows you to grow in failure, a lot like baseball. One of the best hitters in the world was 400. He hit 4 out of 10 times. That's
Right.
the definition of failure.
Sure.
But he was one of the greatest hitters of all time. So with golf, it's very similar. And I'll let Nash kind of hit on some of that with. Yeah.
So specifically for what I see, it's social media. It's probably the biggest problem facing specifically teens.
Yeah.
So on average, teens spend about 3.5 hours a day on social media. And so when they come to first seed, what they can do and what works really well is they get there and we engage with them right away. So if they show up to classes are typically an hour and a half, and if they show up 15 minutes early, that's a no phone time for when you show up until you get TikTok. So and what that takes from us is engaging with them. We've started what's worked phenomenally. It's including kids on the check-in process. So that way, when they come to class, they check in, they get their name tag, we talk to them, and then they stand at the table and they hand out the name tag.
Yeah, that's
to their friends
cool.
who just came up.
Yeah.
And so it's a heck of a lot better than them sitting there on their phone waiting right until class starts, And then in that downtime, we're asking them how school was, we're asking them what they're excited about, what you got going on, and just talking to them and engaging with them with no phones, no electronics, no nothing. We do a paper check-in, so that way there's no electronics. We do it off the clipboard.
Right.
We actually ran our end of year giving campaign last year based on green time over screen time.
Oh,
So
okay.
if you go back and look at our Facebook page from November of 2023, you'll see green time over screen time everywhere. So it was interesting you brought that up because and First Tee does have an app on the corporate level, and it's helpful for some things to keep track of things. But yeah, once we have the kids there on site, we're let's chill.
Give me an example of maybe a challenging situation that a youth was facing where you guys saw a big change almost immediately when you gave them this access.
Nash will probably have a lot better examples. He's on the ground with these kids all the time.
Right.
But I do have.
I mean, I love that where you're checking in, you check in and you're checking other folks in, because it's a camp type of situation. It gives them kind of a leadership responsibility almost immediately, where a lot of times they're kind of meek and just kind of, hey, I want to get in the shadows or I want to get in the crowd. So I think that's a cool thing. But I'm sure you've seen some transitions pretty quickly.
Yeah, so the biggest one actually happened when I was leading a class in Jacksonville in the fall. And I had a kid show up, he was brand new, never played golf before, and his mom just told me he's all of a sudden in the past couple months struggling in school, struggling at home, and they don't know why, but he was determined to try golf.
Right.
No really particular reason why. And the first week he wouldn't hop in and participate. We offered it to him and he just said, I want to watch. And when he told his mom from every other class, so the next 5, we're going to show up early. I'm going to help set up, I'm going to help clear it out, put stuff away, stuff like that. And so the reason was because I asked him on the last class. He said, when I first met you and Coach Patty, who was my other coach, she said, you guys asked me my name, how my day was, and other than my family, you guys are not going.
Yeah.
And so it's really impactful to me to hear that and just not realize that sometimes they can be going through so much at school.
Yeah.
And then they get to come to first tee and it's a friendly face and an interaction that they like and that they enjoy. And they can't wait to tell us about their science project or I had to write this book report on this book or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So that recently was the most impactful story when I got to do someone other than their family cared about it. Really, really was.
Yeah, for me I was really a hothead. I had a big temper, and my dad took me out. It's the only time he ever struck me is I hit a bad shot and I threw my club. And he came up to me, struck me, and he was like, hey, not that I'm condoning striking or anything, but it's the only time that it ever happened. And he said, those aren't your clubs to throw. And I never threw a club again, and I didn't get to play the rest of the day either, which killed me even more, and then, beyond that, I just learned to just say, hey, look, it's okay to fail, and do better the next time, do better the next shot, be a little more focused, or be more calm. In some cases, you have to be just less amped up. You don't have to, match the situation with your feelings or emotions. Golf can sometimes take a long time to learn. It's a long process, right? It's 2 hours for 9 in a lot of cases. That's the other thing here is that you get to spend a lot more time with people, and you get to tell stories, you get to share, and I think that's probably something that impacts as well, right?
Well, and you're doing, during these classes, you're doing the same thing that they're doing. I mean, you're hitting some shots sometimes. You're letting them team up against you to try and beat you. And then you see that competitive streak coming out. Then they go into the next station, you ask them at the end of the day, what was your favorite station? Oh, it was this one over here.
Yeah.
They love the competition, they love everything about it, but it brings something out. It opens them up. They don't have to worry about the real world for an hour and a half. They get to just try something new. It's pretty cool.
One of the things I read on you guys' website is how much you guys educate. And we talked a little bit about the PE teachers. Talk to me a little bit about what that looks like. Like, how do you teach a teacher how to teach golf, or PE teacher how to teach golf? Because it's got to be a little bit of a challenge, especially if that's not in their wheelhouse. Let's say they're a volleyball coach that's teaching PE, or a basketball coach or a football coach that's teaching. What does that look like when I'm educating an educator on what you guys are rolling out?
Sure. So the PE teachers typically, they when they learn what to teach, they do it very well.
Yeah.
So that's really our job. We go host a training for the PE teachers. It's just teaching them the first tee commitments. So we start with our tee commitments. So we have 5 tee commitments, which loops into the 9 core values, which previously they all work together. But we start with teaching the life skills that we incorporate in each lesson. And then after that, the activities that you can do with the equipment that they get. And that just goes hand in hand with, well, this equipment goes with this life skill for the day. And you have this core value. And there's paper, and there's very broken down lesson plans that they receive. So like you said, even if it's not really in their wheelhouse, they're capable of reading through that binder, that folder, and feeling confident delivering what first team is and what first team wants to get across.
Yeah, I like that a lot. So a lesson plan is a full like semester, or is it a full year?
So we do by semester. And what I do at Houston and I'll do again in December is I'll send updated games and activities that with their lesson plan that we've incorporated to actual grass locations that they can do inside a gym, or if they need to be outside or want to be outside, they can do it. But that's been something we've been really great at the past year, is just thinking up new games and new activities.
Yeah.
Try to keep things fresh. We have kids that have been in our program for 6 years.
Yeah.
And man, they don't want to do tic-tac-toe buddy again.
Right.
They want to do something new. So it's been really great to, I went through first tee as a kid.
Yeah.
So kind of pulling back from when I was a kid and I went through to pulling my favorite games, looking stuff up online or just seeing something and just it clicks. You know, that can be a game if you do it right. So,
Yeah, setting up a fake camera and trying to, hit lasers at it, knock it over or something.
We all throw up the golf clubs in the house, hit with the ball spin, right?
Yeah,
Set
yeah,
up
absolutely.
R3s all over the house.
Right.
It's so different.
The plant is hole one.
Yeah,
this one's hole two.
Put
Yeah.
into that plastic cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, one of our latest creations is Jenga putting.
Okay. Where you're putting and trying to knock it over?
Yeah, no, you've got two teams going opposite sides of the hole.
okay.
So two people face off. Whoever makes their putt gets to pull a block.
Oh, it's a pull block. Okay.
Or no, the losing team pulls a block. That's what it is. So you make your putt so you don't have to.
Oh, right.
The losing team has to pull.
I
back.
love that.
But those Jenga blocks we have here outdoors.
Yeah, they're the-
Yeah, the big
And
ones.
they stack, I think it's about 4 feet tall. And so the kids, they hear Jenga putting, and if they don't know, they're going, oh, well, okay. And then they go out there and they see the putting green
Right.
with the Jenga blocks and they're stacking. Some of them, the 5 and 6 year olds, is taller than they are.
Yeah, exactly. They're grabbing the low blocks.
For sure.
So what does it look like educational wise for your volunteers or maybe you guys? What does it look like for you guys to get prepared for some of these conversations, situations that you're going to be dealt with? Whether that's with an educator, we already talked a little bit about that. To get the lesson plan developed and kind of illustrating what that looks like and next steps and stuff like that. But you guys have dealing with youth, which to me, most of them are fairly open and understanding. But you're also sometimes dealing with parents too, right? So what kind of education do you guys get from the first tee that from a volunteer standpoint or employment standpoint that prepares you for these types of things that you're going to be working with?
So for employees, we can go, well, I guess anybody technically is on 5 now. So corporate First Tee does put out some really good training for us. It starts with level 1. Actually, before that, there's the assistant coach training, the ACT, which is really a good intro to what the program is. Actually, that's something we're looking at maybe making all of our volunteers kind of go through first. But after that, you do level 1, which means you can teach them 7-9 class. And then after you hit level 2, you can do all the classes, right? I'll let you talk about that. You know the numbers already.
Yeah,
These level 4 trainings.
So first tee headquarters, those trainings, all the students, it's like lunch. And there's 5 media national trainers, other chapters. 1 through 4, they get on that for an age-based program. So level 1, 7, 8 to 7. Level 2, 8 to 10 to 13. So as they get older, the program requires a little more exploration, a little more specific. So it takes that next level of training. We have some people who aren't quite level 2 that coach a 10 to 13 class, but they, like yourself, they want to see and they just kind of have that knowledge once it's in. But I most recently, so we're able to level 1 they can hop in these classes and feel good.
Yeah.
Day to day, the lesson plan is so it breaks down how long everything's total time, activities in the pool, and lesson learning, core values for golf skill, and I even throw in their personal because I've been coaching for just over 2 years, some struggles that beginners might have. Because you can imagine being age-based, not all kids have the same skill level when it comes to golf. Some have hit before, some have never held it up. So just some very beginner, these are some struggles that some kids might have right away and how to overcome them faster. So the lesson plan is the key to...
Right.
The Humidor is your online cigar retailing headquarters. Our experienced staff has spent years finding some of the best cigars from around the world to sell to our customers. If you're looking for an online cigar store that can help you find your next favorite smoke, welcome to the Humidor. We began the Humidor because of our deep appreciation of the finer things in life, a good conversation with friends, an aged whiskey, and, of course, a fine smoke. That's why, in addition to selling premium cigars online, we also operate a brick-and-mortar cigar lounge in Tyler, Texas. Our lounge is crafted to provide a classic ambience with modern sensibilities, and we've spent time ensuring that smokers and non-smokers have an enjoyable experience, whether they're there for a drink with friends or to enjoy the game.
But is there some counseling components that prepare you for some challenges that you may approach? Or
No, not really.
Okay. So it's focused on golf and focused on some of the challenges that you may have with a player's progression. Right? Gotcha. And the other stuff may happen. It's just, it's more of just listening and just being a coach, mentor at that point.
Right. Just always making sure you're giving it 100%. Ears are always listening. You're always paying attention. Just seeing things as they come up, or hopefully catching it before and trying to deal with it before.
So I think what you're asking is about more of the mental, the headspace part of what we do.
Yeah.
And that all kind of centers around our 5 key commitments at this point, which are
5 key commitments. Pursuing goals. We have growing new challenges, collaborating with others, building a positive self, and using good things. So, like I said before, that lesson plan with everything going. So, what we go through is now is we're going to play a whole. It's going to be really challenging. So we'll use growing new challenges. And while we're doing the warm-up, we'll talk about growing new challenges. Commitments that we teach, we open and end with a class. Set the tone for the day, what someone expects for the day. So for collaborating with others, that's a day that everyone is. So like we said earlier, sometimes they'll try and in a team setting, and they want to be chipping all the kids to see who can get the most in the target or whatever.
Right. Yeah, cool, man. That's a lot to unload.
it's even more to live it every day. I mean,
Talk about that. Let's talk about living it. I mean, what is a typical day for a volunteer, an employee, working that? And I I'm sorry, I couldn't hear the acronym. HUDS. What was the acronym that you used for the five key?
Oh,
Or maybe it wasn't an acronym. Maybe it was something that you called it.
it's just the five key commitments.
I thought you called it something else. Sorry.
There's 5 core commitments and then there's core values.
Okay, gotcha.
Maybe that's what
Sorry, I heard something else.
Maybe it's core values.
Okay. So what does it look like living that in a, maybe just a day-to-day type of atmosphere?
Sure. So during the week we'll have we have classes now every day except Friday.
Oh, wow.
We have classes on Saturday and on Sunday. So if you're a volunteer, we ask that you show up for 6 weeks on Tuesday. If you're volunteering, for every Tuesday for those 6 weeks. And what that looks like is you get an email and a copy of the lesson plan.
Right.
Your safe schools experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get to look at it, and then you show up and you help set up whatever activity that you'll
Sure.
And then you get to ask either, if I'm there with one of the lead coaches and ask questions.
Is it similar to an internship, or is it more of like a volunteer? What's the other than enrichment? Is there more to that, or is there
We
segues
do
to
have some boat coaches, especially right now during the summer. We've got high school kids,
Yeah,
most
sure.
of whom have come up through our program already.
Okay, gotcha.
It's already there. They already know what
They're giving back, but they're also financially,
And they're working.
Yeah, right. Oh, trust me, I work summers. Coaching. There's not a lot of money there, but you're there because you love the sport, and you love impacting people, and you want to leave your mark, that type of thing, right?
I think like Billy said, a lot of the summer coaches we have came up through the program. And so really, in a good way, I think it becomes very easy to them to be at a first team camp. And obviously the roles are reversed, they're the coach now. But I think in a way they feel very comfortable to be there. They get the team day, and they're just on the other side of it. So they're the ones, if we're talking about collaborating with others, they're the ones who have to be ready to speak to that. But if that impacted them when they were young, I think it's very helpful and a very good thing for them to be able to, like you said, give back and another one. Like what, just like they did 10 years ago, 5 years ago,
And then we've got other paid coaches that are our lead coaches, one at each location. And then we have volunteers for the rest of them. Our ratio is 1 to 6, one coach to 6 kids. We've violated it a few times. Usually it's a seasoned coach, older kid, not too big of a hassle there, or really liability. All right, you got anything else to say about that?
trying to stick to the ratio of what helps a lot is we have high school group. If they kind of help for a class, just even as a junior coach, it's that they don't realize how big of a head they are. Because so you have a 16-year-old who's not talking to the new girls, they're relating to them a lot. Talk to them, you're waiting in line. It's going to be a struggle if you have something like like Billy said, we have some paid coaches, we rely heavily on volunteers.
Right.
For the volunteers, it's really just about wanting to positively impact the community. They don't have to know about the average very simply on the if you're new to it, you're not going to be, we're not going to throw you off at an activity by yourself. You're going to be learning with a coach or someone else. You're relying a lot on mentorship. Just living out what you know about just trying to show this is what this looks like to have respect for your peers, for your coaches, for your parents, just getting another positive experience.
Yeah.
And golf's still just a game. And for us, truthfully, it's just a tool. We want kids to play the game and enjoy it, but we want to talk to the kids while they're playing golf. We want to help them learn how to play golf, but help them understand why golf's so good. What lessons does it teach you? I mean, on the basketball court, who's telling you what you can do, what you can't do? Referee. Baseball field, you got umpires. Football field, referees. Soccer field, referees. Golf, you have. That's you. That's you. You've got to make that decision. You've got to do that. You've got to figure out what to do next and how to persevere to get that ball from behind that tree, out of the bunker.
One of very few sports that you can call foul yourself.
You are policing yourself.
Yeah.
And it's very important to police yourself. You got to have pretty rock solid table. That's something that we push really hard to for students. So really, we're mental health. We're youth development first, and then golf is just what we use to help kids learn. And that's the message that kind of gets lost sometimes with first years. Oh, it's a golf league. It is. But it's so much more.
Yeah.
It's the kid that thought they weren't ever going to be on the golf course.
Or not seeing green grass.
But it's also
I've seen that.
absolutely
I
never
sent a
seen
kid one time to Ranger Stadium. We did like a little free giveaway, and the grandfather won it. And brought the grandson. The grandson had never seen green grass. We live, to be fair, we lived in Amarillo.
and
You know, they came down to Arlington, you know, and they lived in the edge of the desert. But sometimes you just don't realize, like, haven't seen a pond, you know, haven't seen a flag stick.
Well, and then on the other side of that, you've got the kid who is well off, but may still not have a great family life.
Yeah.
May have an okay family life, but still was having some issues. He has to learn a few things.
Sure.
They get on the golf course, they find that outlet, and now they're learning from a kid who doesn't have anything that has these values and still
Right.
level the pay for kind of both ways. It's not just about coming up from a hard situation monetarily or anything. It's not one thing in particular.
Yeah.
We've got very wealthy kids that didn't this is as bad as the kids who don't have much at all. So it's a good organization. The serves everything.
You're kind of answering all my questions ahead of time, which is fine.
Sorry, I haven't been able to say much.
Yeah, no, you're doing great. You're doing great. Much better than you advertised. You've already kind of answered a lot of questions I was going to ask, but I'll ask it anyway.
Sure.
Some families may go, this is too good to be true, or hey, look, I don't want them to be exposed to somebody who's talking a certain way, or hey, I don't want any, certain religious stuff pushed down on my kid, or I don't want my kid to be judged,
If you are looking for a reputable builder with a proven track record and a client base to back it up, give Red Construction and Development LLC a call. Red Construction offers full design build services for new construction, custom homes, and remodeling with free site evaluations. They have an A+ rating with the BBB and are proud members of the Tyler Area Builders Association, Texas Association of Builders, National Association of Home Builders, and the Lindale Area Chamber of Commerce. Red Construction and Development LLC stands behind the exceptional quality of their work and have the expertise, the resources, and dedication to deliver the results you need on time and on budget. To learn more, give them a call at 903-630-8660 or visit them online at redconstructiondevelopment.com.
We've got these barriers that are keeping us from doing this. We've kind of talked about some of those things, but talk about some things that you guys have experienced where you've kind of been able to just go, converted some of those parents and grandparents that maybe are having to raise kids, and they're on the fence about the program. And like I said, you guys have already talked about some great things, but talk just a little bit about almost like somebody's listening right now and they're like, hey, it's a consideration. I saw it maybe posted on social media, or I heard somebody, like a friend of the family, mention it, and I'm not sure about it.
First, I would say those things that you mentioned, yeah, people over top in a certain way. Any of that stuff's going to happen. I'm sorry to say, whether it wants it to. Hopefully, first, if it happens from another participant or a coach, we're in a controlled environment to where we can help them to understand what happened and how to go through it and why it was maybe the best thing that happened. But I mean, that's the safety checks that we have on coach, where a kid's never going to be alone with another coach, ever. There's always going to be at least two people there. But that'd be the first thing I would say. It's going to happen. We can be put in an environment where we can kind of control the situation. We can help them out. And Nash sees so much of this stuff day in and out. I know we didn't
Yeah, so what I would say, I brought up a little earlier, our headquarters was required to do safe sport training. So what that looks like is about everything after that means 2 hours. Refresh the courses after training, and that follows certain safety measures. So we're never in a one-on-one play team. If we are one-on-one with a kid, we're outside or we're sitting like that. So you take all the safety measures, and every one of you is involved in the absolute program. Hands down, that's right in every day of safe sport training. And so that puts a lot of parents at ease as far as knowing that they've been through it. What safe sport looks like is how to stop and how to identify certain things that happen.
when to report, how to report. And also, not everything paired with the safe sport is a pill. So there's safety aspect. It's not just the safe sport.
I would say if someone has questions, we love what's happening a lot recently is people just coming up to work mostly at our owner's office, but to any one of our offices, we have William, Tyler, and older partners as well. Just come up and talk to us and introduce yourself. We're happy to sit down and get to the question, talk about showing the area, the class, otherwise, just use our look on our website on the program page, whatever that answers a lot of questions. Give us a call, send us an email. We're happy to meet with anybody. Help them feel more comfortable, ask questions. Come and see us, give us a call, we're happy to talk to you. We just want as many kids and extensions to go through our program as possible. So anything you can do that
Yeah, I think the way I relate it is, I don't know if it happens a lot nowadays, but back when I was growing up, there were a couple times where parents would drop kids off at the mall, right? And you'd go watch a movie, or you would go like just walk the mall, and they would talk, and it'd just be you and your friends, and maybe you'd have like, $5 to your name, and you could do a couple different things here and there, and it's kind of the same thing we're talking about here is, you're dropping your kid off, but the enrichment's so different. Number one, they're outside, and they're in the sun, which we know changes emotions, and we know makes things brighter for kids. And it's really genuinely where they should be. Obviously, there's some medical elements that happen, and there's challenges there. But for the most part, I mean, they're energetic. They know they're going to have more energy than my 40-year-old self. And we want them to be outside so that they can set up the type of behaviors and the type of things that we want. We want prosperous children to be, and it's not just prosperous by money. We want them to be prosperous emotionally. I think about with golf is that it's a long process, like I said before, it's a 2 hour, 4 hour, in most cases, sometimes faster now. If the course is empty, you can play faster. But it's a 2 hour to 4 hour process of playing golf. You get to hit your own ball, which is great for older children, and single children can hit a ball every time almost, right? So like they're get teamwork, but then you get to be part of the team and contribute. I just think that the game teaches so much to people about emotions, and now back to my point is this: 2 to 4 hours of talking to someone and being involved with them. We're in a world of quick answers. Google will get you an answer in less than a second, which is also, and we do a lot of like social media, TikTok, Reels. These are minute to minute and a half Reels that can kind of embed a thought or emotion or how we should think or a brand. And 2 to 4 hours, that builds a relationship. And I feel like the more I played golf, the more I became more relational, where I wanted to learn more about somebody else. I wanted to ask questions because we were on a golf course for 4 hours, or 3 hours, 3.5, and I got to fill that time somehow. I'm just talkative, and so I want to learn about, hey man, you wear that color shirt, you wear that, that's your favorite color. When I was younger, hey, cool hat. Where did you get those clubs? And then later on in life, it turns into I'm at the office and I see somebody with a golf ball on their desk. Oh, you play golf? Oh, yeah, I hit a hole in one. And now I'm having a conversation with them. Oh, what do you play? When do you play? Hey, let's play a round. And it turns into what adults look like with relationships. It's more meaningful. It's not a 4-day let's talk and then let's not talk. We got something more to latch onto than, hey, did you watch Saturday Night Live last weekend or whatever. That's to me what golf is.
Yeah, it's so important because of the time, like you said. I mean, it can take years to break 90.
Yeah.
10, 12 years. Same metaphor for life. It takes years to learn these things. That's why the two go so well together. Either one of them are easy. If you can learn golf, or at least how to manage your emotions around the golf course, I'm pretty confident you can manage your emotions just about it. Because it's frustrating.
Yeah, the same thing holds true if you're in a group that's high maintenance. You don't want to be in that group. Like if they're tossing gloves, or if they're not calling their scores correctly, or if they're not, doing certain things, fixing divots, which are holes in the ground, for those that don't know that, or if they're, hitting, screaming profanities, a lot of people are going to be out. Like it's just over. And not a lot of people like being around that unless that's the way they want to behave. And that's what's accepted. Fair enough?
You learn a lot about someone.
Sure.
You're out there for 4 hours.
Yeah.
Probably more than
Right. Sure.
You can definitely find out if you want to do something.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
little things that, especially if you mentioned fixed that's a big deal to me.
Sure.
If I know I'm going to play Billy I'm a little frustrated.
Yeah, standing in the divot.
Well, and that's just that's just the little thing. But it's
Sure.
maybe outside of it. So it's
Right.
very hard. Kids at first team are so great. How often you're meeting for the first time, they will walk up to you, what are you doing out on the street?
Right.
Pretty activities.
Right. Or watching a video while they shake your hand. Or hey,
earlier about what like a situation or something that we noticed or we saw something. For me, that was the greatest one. He just said, I walked in to our first time teaching class, which was a homeschool class recently, and the kids showed up and kind of like this the first day, a little quiet, a little shy. My day see they walk up and it's, hey, good morning, Coach Billy. And he said, man, one day, it's not the same as
Pretty often, find out so if we have tournaments outside of the tournament records are important for
Sportsmanship.
It's still very polite, very nice, but they're nice when they have on they go and say, hey, good to see you again, it's my day, I'm excited to play it. What I found very interesting, we had a participant now, same team, I don't have his brother last night, but I rather did play on the golf course. He asked, are there any local schools and has to see before the tournament?
Yeah, great question.
Before he even got to play, and said, he goes, I never went back until right before it started. I found out he's not very home for work. He took the time to go so special and say, hey, nice to meet you. Any local roles in effect that I need to know about? It's just more and more scary that it's like kids in first year that's part of the check-in process is a handshake or a high five. Either one, most younger kids want to high five, like they're open to high to a handshake. It feels like more respectful.
Sure. Yeah, and I mean, we've even seen pros struggle with that. Like Mr. Johnson a couple of years ago, he grounded his glove. What he thought was just a waste of it. It wasn't. So, I mean, I think there are examples that kids can see of that intelligence happening and preserving not only their score, but also the genuineness of their golf round. Making sure they abide by the rules and all that good stuff, which is what you got to teach them. Right?
Yes, sir.
So we talked a little bit about mentoring. We talked about mental health a little bit. I think we kind of covered those bases. Talk to me a little bit about the process of identifying volunteers. Do you guys identify folks in your program, or do you guys? Is there a way that you guys reach out to people that are currently in the program and say, hey, I think you'd be a good advisor, I think you'd be a good volunteer, or is it just kind of an open kind of deal?
Direct coaches, I'll let you speak to you. You go out with the young guys and stuff. But for volunteers, just a blanket statement. We do events. We just did Tomato Fest in Jacksonville. What a
Yeah, Tomato Fest is wild, man.
We had about 200 that day. We had inflatables at Tomato Fest. We had 200 of our friends.
Wow.
That doesn't count all the kids that came through our inflatables like 10 times. We had kids who asked questions to all of us, how many times did I get through?
Yeah.
We gave them one prize, but they went good. We probably saw easily over 500 kids.
We probably had a line of 8 to 10 kids from 8:15, 8:20 until about 2 o'clock, 2:15. And that's not sorry. In a perfect world, we would have been able to engage with parents a little more there.
Sure.
And pass out the volunteer, which we have all that available.
Sure.
But it's way better.
Yeah. It's all available. It's kind of what's overwhelming. It's all the content you know, not that I do.
And we're trying to grow that program too. We're in our first year there, second year there, technically. this will be our first fall.
While we're on the subject, talk to us about the marathon. You guys just got done with the marathon. Is it?
It's literally still a sore subject.
I mean, I know you're playing a lot of golf, but I mean, what's the cause? What's the reason for doing that?
So we just feel like, I mean, we need to raise as much money, and outreach is huge for us too. Sure. That's actually been our biggest focus for 2024, is just trying to get in front of new people, making sure people know, hey, if they know our name, we really want them to know what we're about, other than just golf.
Yeah, Billy Giveaway. He's at a stopping point.
So for the marathon, it's simple put together the fundraiser, particularly for a certain cause. And it's getting together, it's similar like the regular marathon, but this one
I see. Okay.
most people
Yeah.
I just will open more and say 3-4 hours. Still paying for it today. I took a 30-minute break after the second round. Went out there for the third one and barely. It's for a really good cause. It's a lot of fun. It's just great to see you get to play with a lot of people. All of them.
As much as you want.
Well, I floated around to different groups and these are people who are supporting me first.
That's awesome.
It's just a great time. It's other people with play that know that, yeah, you know, I'm going to do stuff on that. I never had a shot. It was on Monday. I never had a shot on that. Where I really got overly upset because I just knew in the back of my mind I was out there for a good cause. And it was just for fun to go out and play as much as you can. Probably could have got it a couple of times.
Oh man,
That was a storm too. By the time I got to Mount Selma, I couldn't even see where it was.
yeah, I got to get away a little bit later in Monday, and yeah, I saw it blow in. Thankfully, it didn't get me, but.
That golf course is long with shade. Actually, Turkey Ranch donated the course this year. Wow, which was huge. I mean, they let 30 people come out and play golf and play that for nothing.
Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's huge. They want our program there as much as we do. So that's a good feeling. Not that I want to go over and other places too, but they want to stay out.
Yeah.
And they need to stay. Kids.
Shout out to Cherokee. Absolutely, 100%.
So then we were raised about $8 grand.
Nice. Yeah, that's great.
Have the course donated, we have lunch donated.
Wow. Amazing. Shout out to those guys.
Had extras.
Oh, somebody jacked me.
We had some extras. I had 2 for lunch.
Yeah.
I have a third.
Yeah. Well, before we get started, I transitioned to another bottle. This is the East Texas Whiskey Club's Old Forester. This is a barrel that I worked on for a year and finally got it home. I named it Rose City. The group called it Old Blue, and a lot of people loved it. It's so it bears 2 names. And I'm going to transition to that. I just want to make sure we've got an old Forester coming. And I've got a fun name for it. It's my last one. I will not be able to get another one of these. I've been fortunate enough. Most stores get these. I have an individual get 2, I'm done. It's over. Somebody's going to have to pass the torch. But I'm super proud of the Rose City. There was 6 folks that tasted it with me. I can't remember all of them, but I remember Jared Weaver was a big part of that one, and obviously Daniel Ross, Richard Terry, and Travis Beard, and all. I can't name everybody, but there was a lot of people that are involved in Rose City, and same thing with the next barrel. that'll be on its way here very soon. So that's what I have in my cup. So,
Vault Arms is your premier destination for all things firearms. Extensive selection of handguns, rifles, shotguns, and accessories. Knowledgeable staff to assist you in finding the perfect firearm to fit your needs. State-of-the-art gun range equipped with the latest technology for a safe and thrilling shooting experience. Take advantage of our professional shooting instruction and training programs suitable for all skill levels. Host your next group outing, corporate event, or bachelor party at our spacious and secure shooting facility. Committed to promoting responsible gun ownership and firearm safety. Fully licensed and compliant with all state and federal regulations.
you guys just did a partnership with Truvine, right? Talk to us a little bit about that.
That was a long time in the coming. We got rained out.
Love Ryan and Tracy. They're great people.
What a great idea. Tuesdays,
Yeah.
That's super cool. No, we were originally scheduled for April 9th, and you know what kind of spring we had with the rain.
Oh, yeah.
Storms.
April, May, you brought it.
Yeah,
That's ridiculous.
it was rough. Yeah, we had to cancel the first one, had to reschedule. So we just did it last Tuesday. Yeah. And it was great. We had Jason Berry out there with the Park County Golf. Yeah. Donated a simulator and his time. We gave away some prizes for the closest to the bin. I'll never do one. It wasn't me. My deck is $1 per year, so wow, around 220 bucks. Wow. So we did really good. We were happy for that. And then Jason gave us a little donation to that, and he collected his work. That's awesome. So Jason does a good
What was that again? Okay.
It's an overwhelming. It's a big inflatable. You get inside of it.
He says big. It's 30 feet.
Woo!
Long, like
30 feet is big.
and I think it's at least 12 feet. It's
Wow.
It's a mobile simulator. It picks things up and you hit into that screen. And it gives a foresight outlook. And it's able to do courses, closest to the man, everything like that. So it has to and let people try it. Yes,
Yeah.
walk up and get to try it. I think the first one was 130 yards, and I walked up and I got this one in the bag, but I realized I didn't have my own question, so I struggled a little bit, but we still
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, Truvine's a great partner. We're hoping to have them on next year, for sure. Tracy and Ryan, I mean, that's great people, and hoping really to do the podcast there. And it's so awesome. One of the things I have here on the list is investment opportunities. So let's talk about that. You guys talking a little bit about, like you said you had 30 or so that were on the Cherokee course playing golf. So I'm sure that some of those were investors, or were they?
Yeah, some donors, some were
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about how somebody's donating to First Tee. What are the means to doing it? Obviously, the website is a pretty simple way of doing it. But okay.
There's a support us tab on there somewhere. There'll be multiple denominations you can choose from. Credit cards, PayPal.
Sure.
It's easy. It's great.
There's a page on there, but there's actually on this actual spot in this page. And if you need more reasons, you want more info, there's the program. We have the staff there. Do the application with us. And so our website gives them a lot of great updated a lot over the past year to year. And it gives a lot of great info as to what is the option goes to work on the program page. You get to see facilities, you get to see clubs, things like that. Just areas, not just we've got everything set up here. clubs for kids.
Okay.
We get a million set. We're starting to actually realize some days. For a while, but it's just not trying to see it. Another tab that we didn't mention on our webpage is our event tab. And so we just actually.
So Billy's the one up there. Tom too.
I wouldn't try to get rid of me.
Billy's very technical.
I just think all technical guys.
He's like,
Take that one. That's it. Take that one.
he can envision that page and he's got a photograph.
I can actually see right where it is.
Yeah.
So our biggest fundraiser of the year is coming up.
Oh, is it?
It's called the Game Changer.
Okay.
It's a golf tournament. We'll get a Holly Tree this year. August 26th, 8:30 a.m. Shotgun Solar.
Right. Will there be erasers involved?
So I'm assuming.
I'm joking.
But unfortunately, probably. No, we got some gimmicks, so it's a fundraiser. It's a fun time.
Hand grenades, strings.
No strings.
Hand grenades, strings, all kinds of stuff.
Two hand grenades. We do 5-iron blast.
Okay.
We have some challenge holes.
Do you have a shooter where you shoot 300 yards?
We do have, so what's really cool about Fridays, we get four. No, it's 5 challenge holes before participants. So we pick 4 participants.
Yeah.
So what we do.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
One of them actually was you're not playing the full hole, you just drive up.
Okay. Yeah.
But people are not honestly
Yes. Oh, it's so cool. Yeah. Feel a little pressure, you know.
Or just sitting there for a couple holes and you're only doing putting. And a lot of groups said, we want you to go last, that way if you make it, you can go.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So it's really fun to pull up to the pieces and we may talk about
Oh man, that's awesome.
it's a lot of fun. People
Yeah. You guys have specific dates for that? August.
it's always 26.
26. Okay.
It's Monday. Unfortunately, we're on the wait list. We filled out last week.
Okay.
We do have 2 sponsorships still available to come with 2 teams each. One of them is
What does it mean to be a sponsor with a team? Does that mean I get to ride around and pepper them, or what does that mean?
well, if you're a team and a sponsor,
Billy's got to get his paperwork here. You get to heckle them? Right? Okay, so game changer. Okay, so if I'm a sponsor, so the teams are sold out, right? Sold out. But I can still be a sponsor. So I can be a prize sponsor. Or a driving range sponsor, or I could be a team with whole sponsor.
That would be just a team. It's sold out of wholesale. So that's more for a business.
I got you.
Something like that. Their recognition.
Leadership board sponsor, that makes sense. Yeah, cool. And a whole sponsor, obviously, you get to advertise at your whole.
Yeah,
so that's awesome. Awesome. So you've got a lot of opportunities here. We'll show it here for YouTube when we get that. Hopefully we can get that loaded up pretty quick.
Yeah.
We'll attach it to when we get this loaded up. We'll just put that on there, and then folks can sponsor if they like. We've got a lot of folks that follow the page that can maybe help us out there if they aren't already. I mean, thankfully we've got a lot of followers that are that give friends of all kinds of nature. So it's awesome. It's awesome. So you still have opportunities.
Right now, I mean,
The teams wise, you're full.
teams-wise, we're full.
We have ratings.
Yes, and so if we don't fill these, or if we do fill them, then we got 12 more teams. We have to save them for these two sponsors.
Oh, gotcha. So I'm sorry, I didn't read that right. Okay, so let's make sure. So Game Changer sponsor, which is a high level, the highest level. That's the highest level. That one's still available, which has a variety of different things that come with that. And then we have base level, which also has quite a lot that comes with it. And so those two levels are still available if somebody wants to jump in. You guys are reserving those spots because they're marquee spots. Gotcha. Okay, so you still have 4 spots available, but they're for marquee spots. So if you want to jump in, you still can. Right? Cool. All right. So we've reached the portion where as I talked to you a little bit earlier about shout outs. And sometimes it's hard, sometimes it's easy, but we kind of like to end the podcast talking about someone who was impactful, maybe led you down this path where you're at now, but it could be as easy as friends, family, somebody who inspires you, it could be a mentor. Billy, since you haven't talked at all this whole podcast, Billy, let's talk about your shout outs.
I'm actually down in the middle of it, passing exam.
Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah. Now he wants to bring the finale on. I want to be part of the marquee group here.
As soon as you told us about this, I knew we were going to talk about it. Honestly, I think I want to break a little bit of news here.
Oh.
Since this won't be listened to until
Yeah, probably Saturday.
Yeah,
You think?
that's
Josh?
We could have it Friday.
Friday. Oh, that's right.
Well,
Yes.
the world's going to go tomorrow, probably.
So you were good.
My wife.
Yeah.
She's a physician assistant in Tyler. She blesses our family every day, working her blood out.
My wife's a nurse, so
She's a breadwinner. She loves eating for this. So I'm very appreciative. I love my family. I love being with her. Sure. And a lot of people are pregnant right now. We are going to have a little boy. So we're going to have a little girl. She's 5. Okay.
you have the perfect family.
So now we're going to have a little boy.
Awesome, man. Congratulations.
A couple of future
Do you have a name?
We got one that we like.
So you don't want to say that.
Not yet. Because I don't want to listen back and be like, man, I didn't choose
It's
that.
not going to be Logan, is it? Okay.
It's not Logan. It's not Logan.
Or Nash.
It's not Nash.
Okay, just want to make sure we rule those out. What? Hold on. Your wife. I don't remember you saying her name. Katie. All right. Katie. Shout out to you.
Love you.
Thank you for putting up with Billy. And, you know, producing the man,
That's
right? Or helping.
Oh, I wouldn't. Yeah, that's no question.
100%.
Like my wife, took Amanda, she actually, so how I got started, as I mentioned, I went to a first league kid, but I didn't, when we moved to Tyler, I didn't start working for first league. And how I came about to know first year of Tyler was from my wife. Off of a job, wasn't particularly positive. She said, well, you need to find somewhere to
Yeah.
without you and I would not be sitting here where I'm at. This amazing guys. Sure. A lot of guys not make a lot of mistakes that are okay. Also, Billy
We have a solid decision. I love it. It's awesome. I'll say the same thing. My wife she puts up with me. And obviously changed directions. Like, unfortunately, golf really cost me my first marriage. Because I put so much heart and soul in it. And I don't blame her at all, man. I was in the complete wrong. Like, literally, I lived it. And I'm not, it's a game that backs you in. Can back you in. And, but she's yin and yang, and at times out here doing this, and she would never do this. But at the same token, she'll absolutely stand behind me and be the best, supporter of me and loves me unconditionally. So, shout out to our wives, right? Cool. Hey, it's great having you guys on. I hope you guys enjoyed it, right? Was it cool? Yeah. Did you enjoy it? Was it different? You thought it? Okay.
We've been talking.
Exactly.
Bring us back in here.
Okay, got you. Hey, so right now it's June, or no, it's July already. So, we're booked out until April. Thank the Lord. It's such a great blessing for us. It's a recognition for us to be like a viable podcast, and we're not doing this just for fun. We have sponsors that really do a great job, help us move forward, and it's been an awesome journey. Our next podcast will be a year. So that's really the landmark that a lot of podcasts kind of put down as like a legitimacy to a certain degree. But we've had great guests like you guys and a variety of guests, all kinds of different backgrounds, entrepreneurs, nonprofits, medical folks that are helping human trafficking, all kinds of stuff. So plan on covering a lot of that stuff next podcast. Our next podcast is with Texas State of Mind. Awful. If you've never had it, it's amazing. And they did a collaboration with ETX Brewery, that Texas State of Mind Stout, or Texas Stout of Mind. Sorry, that's what it's called. So I'm looking forward to that because they're based here, and they've got two great guys that run it. It ought to be really fun. And then we've got a guy who does cybersecurity. So he's going to tell us a little bit about, like, what's your password, 1, 2, 3, 4, that type of thing. So it'll be pretty cool. But anyway, thank you guys so much for coming on. You guys know that I'm passionate about the sport. I really enjoy you guys coming on and talking about the things that you guys are doing for it and teaching the next generation. That's big time for me. It should be big time for our area. And anybody that's on the fence, all the doubt should be wiped away with tonight's content. I think so.
Yeah, I'll leave for this too.
Yeah.
We have this whole mantra, this great and nothing when they're doing sits and back shots.
I like Martin. Before I got to the office,
I see everybody just saying something wrong with a project. We'll make Martin. So it's stuff.
Yeah.
Every time, everything is like.
Yeah.
So just trying to.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
First tee is about good golfers.
Yeah.
So that's what we're working toward every day. So good golfers.
Yeah, I agree. And I hear it from the curriculum to people that you're trying to develop, kids you're trying to reach out to. I mean, that's it. Better people. So, very, very cool. Well, hey, thanks so much for tuning in. Again, this is Andrew Darrington, Spirit Squared. We'll see you next time. Thanks so much.